Joining me now is Laith Kuba, Senior Director for the Middle East and North Africa at the National Endowment for Democracy. Let's clarify a little bit about what we mean by Iranian influence over these Shiite militia groups.
Well, I mean, to start with, they are currently armed directly by a flow of ammunition arms coming to them from Iran, not from the Iraqi army, not from the Iraqi government. The Iraqi government is paying their salaries, but their commanders in the field, the network itself that really runs it, are people who were formerly with another brigade called the Badr Brigade, who are now a political organization. The current Minister of Interior was part of that brigade. The general commander of these forces was a former leader of the Badr Brigade. So the Badr Brigade was born out of the Revolutionary Guards and trained by the Revolutionary Guards.
And the provocative presence, perhaps, of General Soleimani, tell us about, he's an important figure in the region. Tell us a little bit about him and what this potentially means that he might be leading this battle?
Well, he developed and emerged out of the Iraq-Iran war. He's a hard-tested veteran of the Iraq-Iran war. He worked on Iraq with the Iraqis over the last 2-3 decades. When Saddam was in power, he was based in North Iraq, so he knows the Iraqi scene very, very well. He reports directly to Ayatollah Khamenei, and he is, as I said, directly running the show in Iraq. His presence is a statement. It's a public statement. And in the past...
Saying what?
Well, the public statement is that Iraq is directly our vital sphere. Unlike other countries where we have an interest and we have an influence, but the way they're dealing with Iraq currently is to say, this is like Iranian cities. We have to defend it. We have to be there. We move in and out as we see fit.
That's strong a statement. This is like Iranian territory.
Well, I think one of their commanders have said the security of those cities are equivalent to the security of Iranian cities.
Well, so we heard General Dempsey talking about how this could be positive, a positive outcome, if it does not lead to more sectarian violence, which of course it could. So describe the fine line, the fine balance here for the United States in watching what's unfolding.
Well, I think there is a lot at stake. I think, as I said, Iran has a strategy on Iraq and on the region. It's working within that strategy. It decided to make its presence very clear. It has a thin approval from the Iraqi government because it's a reality on the ground, but the Iraqi government has approved it and welcomed the support because it needs it. I think what is noticeable here is that the Iranians have made that statement, and it's more or less went unchallenged by anybody, not even a thin protest of any kind.
But briefly, for the U.S., what kind of position does it put the U.S. government in, watching Iran possibly take the lead in this fight against?
Well, it's not taking, I mean, Iran is now taking the lead, and it's not about the benefits today, but it's about the day after. So at some point, ISIL will be pushed out of the Iraqi cities, but then, thanks to Iran, that took place, and nobody knows the thousands, the actual number of officers and soldiers that are in Iraq today. Only 3-4 months ago, during a public religious ceremony, over 1 million Iranians went to Iraq. Nobody knew how many of them are soldiers, how many stayed in the country. So the reality on the ground in Iraq is that Iran's influence have passed a landmark.
And the question, as you say, is what comes the day after ISIL is kicked out, if they are. Laith Kuba, thanks so much.
Thank you.